And again, ladies and gentlemen, that is Yarbrough and Peoples with a song called Don't Stop the Music. For all of you who need a little bit of something to start bringing you into the space of the weekend and what it feels like to have good grooves to move to, then we hope that that song certainly applies to that. I first heard that song on the turntable in my Sunday school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have very pleasant memories of us taking, I think it was the 45 even, so that just lets you know.
Did they make it like into a religious thing, like don't stop praising God?
I didn't say that we used it as part of Sunday school. I'm saying I spent a lot of time at my church growing up, and so the turntable was always there. We used to bring our own records in, but somebody else brought that one. I did not own that one at the time, but I liked it a lot.
That's appropriate for church, I think, you know. Don't stop praising God. Don't stop.
I was going to say, well, now in the context, I'm surprised that somebody hasn't. Has anybody remade that one, Kayla? Because
like
it seems like that's the one that would get the religious, makeover. So, so it's Stephanie Renee and Mike D, and he's in the house.
Yeah, huffing and puffing.
Yeah, I was going to say running.
God wanted me to run today. God wanted me to run. He said, you got to get some exercise. No, every street was blocked. In the rain and everything. You have folks make extra time for what you need to do.
Indeed.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. I guess the interracial relationship thing we can deal with.
So it was Jesse Williams.
Okay.
And so for those of you who are on hold to contribute to that conversation, we might want you to call back in the noon hour because, that's just not the focus that we had intended to talk about in this hour of the program. But it's definitely a hot topic.
Jesse pulled a Kanye on folks, huh? That
see,
girl, 13 years he was with her. And it ran its course.
Marriages fail. And I think that if marriages are going to fail, marriages fail regardless. I don't think that Minka Kelly's ethnic background is the reason why the marriage failed.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, I watched the Jay-Z. He's been unraveling stuff. He had a whole thing where Jesse was saying, like, look, don't make me a meme. I love this one for 13 years. It just ran its course. And don't think that I left her for some maid or somebody, like this, it just is what it is. So, yeah. But, that's a whole nother conversation we can have.
I was going to say failing marriage is one thing.
And Jesse's political outlook and what he's spoken for and all this. I'm sure that's why folks are on the line. But anyway.
And again, he's biracial, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, I was like, is this surprising? I was like, eventually, not everybody, this is not 100% accurate. I am generalizing and I'm admitting it. I just think that everybody has a tendency to have preferences for folks that look like your parents if you loved and grew up in a household where you had a good relationship with your parents.
Yeah, perhaps.
I was like, not everybody.
Perhaps, but media has a lot of influence over what our standards of beauty are as well. So,
but did he say that he thinks? So that's what I'm saying. That I think we put a lot into this.
That's a whole. We should.
It is.
Is somebody on the line?
Yes, we have a guest on the line.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about this. If you want to talk about empowering people,
yes,
empowering young women,
yes,
empowering young Black women. Empowering people to pursue greater than what they're capable of by joining together. There's a movie coming out August 4th that I want everybody to go see and support.
Yes.
It's called Step.
It is.
It played at Sundance Film Festival. It's amazing. There was a screening last night. I wasn't there, but I know people are crazy.
I was going to say, I wasn't there either, but we already had a caller who won passes from us and went with his granddaughter and grandson. And already talked about what a bonding experience it was for them and how much they truly loved the story. And so we have the director.
With us on the line, Amanda Lippitz, the director of Step. Hey, welcome to Philly.
How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Doing great. Hey, thanks for joining us. Now, I saw this movie at a private screening, like a press screening in New York with like maybe 20 people, and folks were going crazy. So I can only imagine what it was like last night.
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, I wasn't there. We got stuck in that crazy thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And that was heartbreaking for me because I heard that it was just such an amazing audience, and I knew it would be because Philly is a lot like Baltimore.
Yes.
Very
much so.
So for folks who haven't seen the trailer, don't know anything about the film yet, tell us about the film, Step.
Well, it's about an all-girls high school step team in Baltimore, and they're all the first in their families to go to college, and we follow them through their senior year in their quest to graduate, go to college, and become a championship step team.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And what drew you in to want to tell this story of these girls in Baltimore?
Well, I'm born and raised in Baltimore, and I'm a Broadway producer in my other life. And on the side, I was making shorts about first-generation students going to college and girls' education. And I was making films at their school. I met them when they were 11 years old.
Wow.
And they always saw me coming in and out of school with cameras. And Lesson, one of the young women, and Mesa were actually visiting me where I live in New York, and I was filming them. They were interviewing Cheryl and Eiffel at the ACLU. And
yes.
Lesson said to me, you know, Amanda, the next time you come to school with cameras, you need to come film our step team. And I walked in, and I was unfamiliar with step and the rich history of coming from Africa and the means of minors communicating and being a collegiate sport in America and something you earn by going to college. I didn't know much about it, but I did know musicals. And so when I walked in and I saw them stepping, for me, it was what happens in a great musical. Characters can't speak anymore, so they sing to express their fears and their hopes and their dreams, and that's what they were doing with Step.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you follow three amazing girls specifically in the film, you know, at various degrees of academic achievement, so to speak, but all having the same dream to graduate college.
Yeah, I mean, Blessin, Corey, and Taylor, you know, really there is a Blessin, a Corey, and a Taylor in every city in America. And every girl can, and young men can find, I think, something to relate to about each one of them. And I'm just really grateful to these extraordinary young women for being so brave and opening up their hearts and trusting me. It has been a privilege in my life.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, I got to tell you, as a member of a Black sorority, stepping is something that we, you know, very often take for granted as just a natural rite of passage, as a natural way of bonding. And, you know, it's intrinsic in the way that we express ourselves at a variety of different public functions and tying back to that history. So it's wonderful that you were able to take stepping out of that particular historical context and tell it in a different way with these young women in high school and how they have used this to bond. I also saw the audition date for So You Think You Can Dance, which is one of my favorite TV shows, where forget her name, is Blessin? Yes, where she used step and talked about her experience as this way of showing the folks on the show that this was her experience and how much it had done for her.
Absolutely. I mean, I think step is just completely unique in the sense that it is an art form, a creative expression and outlet, but it also is a team sport and one that feeds your soul and teaches you so much about discipline and sisterhood and leadership and power. You know, power and being brave. And it's just there really is no other art form, sport. I don't even know. There's nothing else like it. It's completely original. And we were so excited that Blessin was on So You Think You Can Dance. And we were even more excited when they invited the entire team back and perform in August. So I am thrilled that everyone's going to get to see a step team.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, so, I mean, we're talking to Amanda Lippitz, who directed Step, which comes out August 4th. Now, I mean, the other thing that's exciting about this film, the first thing, like, at the screening I was at, there were, like, literally tears, right, just at the comedy. Because it's a sports film, but it also, there's the mutual goal of just seeing these girls graduate.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that double whammy. But then you start to say, like, wow, you know, like, on one level, it's like, Black women never get a chance to see this reflection of themselves in a motion picture. And then the other part is like, okay, well, if this is sort of a template for how to get, kids through the high school system, you know, why isn't this being repeated in more places? Why is it that these kind of programs are being taken away from schools and music programs and just ways to express yourself artistically and creatively are being taken away so that no child gets left behind?
Yeah, Amanda, your thoughts on that with the state of public education in America?
So I'm actually sitting next to an expert in that. That is Miss Paula Dofat, the director of college counseling in the movie and the hero of it all, who gets all our girls into college. So I'm going to let her answer that question for you all.
Thank you.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we think that there is definitely a fine line and a balance that can be had between extracurricular activities and the academics. One supports the other. As we said, that we see that each student is different, and we need to look at them as individuals. So a student like Blessing, she's fueled completely by the creative pieces, by the extracurricular pieces, and learning how to balance the academic. Yeah. Other students do it the opposite way. So we look at all their strengths, and we try to grow their plans from that. So we deal with success plans. And that's why at our school we have 100% college acceptance. This is our second year doing that. And 10% of our senior graduating class have full ride scholarships. So I think we figured out some secret sauce that people can kind of glean some things from when they watch the movie.
Fantastic. So, I mean, in terms of action, I mean, everybody listening, going to go see this August 4th. You know, after they see the movie, what lessons should they be taking away from it?
Well, one of the things I think personally when I saw the movie for the first time, I realized that this is a movement to get us back to community, some things that we've lost.
Yes.
We've lost that piece where we would have anyone on your block, in your neighborhood, to either, you know, in love, correct you or support you. We're missing that. Yes. So I'm hoping that we can get back to that movement. In addition, just knowing that after you see this, you're never going to be the same. So if you weren't involved, if you weren't mentoring, if you weren't finding a way to help students be successful, you need to do that. If you are, then there's more that you can do. So we're hoping that this will be a call to action, a movement for college readiness, a movement for mentorship, a movement for community.
That's a beautiful thing, and it's so incredibly necessary. And you know, within the context of the trials that Baltimore is going through, there is so much that is parallel to a child in Baltimore's experience, the quality of life in the communities that a lot of us are living in, and the struggles that families are enduring that is replicated here in Philadelphia. So I would love to continue this conversation with you about the ongoing work that's happening at your school and how we can have your voice involved in the conversation we're having about mentoring and uplifting our young people here in the city as well.
I would really love that. And Coach G, who is amazing also in the movie, and she is paying it forward with life skills and mentorship. She and I are partners, and we can definitely do that, and would be grateful to do it.
Excellent. Well, I will make sure that I get all of your contact information from Mike, and we will, you know, put you in the fold of our guests that we can call on for these subjects here at WURD.
Thank you. My honor and my pleasure. Thank you for your support.
Okay. So, Amanda, you know, for those who want to see more about the film, is there a website or Twitter? Like, we want to be a part of this movement. We want to make sure everybody amplifies this and goes to see this movie.
Yes, and we have posted the link to the trailer on our WURD Facebook page, so people do have an opportunity to get a preview of what the film is all about. But how else can they stay engaged with the movement?
So they can go to tickets.stepmovie.com and purchase their tickets. They can also email. They can click on that link. There's a link for group sales. You can take a group of young people to see this movie, and you can do it by you can get a tax-deductible donation for doing it.
Yes.
So you could go on, you can call the group sales on our website and arrange to send a group of students. If you don't know a group of students, they will find a group of students and teachers for you.
Nice.
So you can do that. That's a big thing. #StepIsLife, and follow us at Step the Movie. And, you know, just come out August 4th, August 11th in Philly and show movie studios that we want to see movies like this about 19 girls from Baltimore who kick butt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Amanda's already a Tony Award winning producer.
Awesome.
This Fox Searchlight release, you know, I'm just crossing my fingers for you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say any more, but
he's saying you've broken the award bubble, so may they continue to multiply.
Yes.
My goal is to break box office records
yes.
now with this documentary. So that's what I want to do.
We're here to change the world. So, so Soarers, get the group sales. You won't be disappointed. And seriously, I mean, we're talking about 100 years of film history.
Yeah.
When has there been a movie just about black women who are creative and educated? Mm-hmm. You know, we're starting to see it now. A little bit of Hidden Figures. If you want to see Hidden Figures, go see Step. See how that creativity and intelligence is born.
In a contemporary sense, in a community that really needs to have wins. And that's what's really important as well. You're showing the victory, and we want to make sure that we're replicating that victory in as many ways as we possibly can. So we want to thank you both for joining us on the air today, for providing this vehicle for inspiration, and you've given us the tools for how we can go out and financially support it in a way that's substantial in our communities.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And the email address to set up group sales is info@stepgroupsales.com.
Step Group Sales.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. All right.
And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. StepMovie.com will get you the basic information about this film, but info@stepgroupsales.com will get you specifically the information you need to organize groups, to be able to purchase tickets and take our young people out to experience this for themselves. It opens here in Philadelphia, August 11th. Mark your calendars.
August 4th.
No, she said August 4th is the official premiere, August 11th in Philly.
Okay.
And so mark your calendars and prepare to go out and support this film. Quick break, and we come back with more news about film and TV about good black folks. We'll be right back.
The Abbotsford Tenant Council invites you to the 4th Annual Free Youth Forum and Senior Community Day, Saturday, July 15th from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. at 3226 McMichael Street. Call Greg Brinkley for more information, 267-349-5976.
Hey, Brother Shamari, I hear you talking about JD's Auto Body and Painting. That's where I go.
Nick, I know the owner JD personally, and they always take care of me. You asked me, I told you about JD's when you needed car repairs. I've been spreading the word about their professional work.
I know. I remember now, you sure did. They're at 6300 Wayne Avenue in Germantown, right?
215-848-5949. That's 215-848-5949. I know, I have it memorized.
Now, we both agree that JD's Auto Body and Painting is the place to take your car for all your auto body repair and painting needs. They work with all insurance companies and free towing with repairs.
Yeah, free estimates and senior discounts, too.
But I bet you didn't know JD's has a 10% discount for WURD listeners.
Come on, Nick. I know Juanita, JD's wife since elementary school. Tell them Brother Shamari sent you, and you can mention Nick, too.
Yeah, that's right. Call JD's today at 215-848-5949.
Calling all small businesses.
Do you want to add to your loyal customer base? Do you want more visibility so you can expand? Would you like to move from just surviving to thriving? If so, listen up. You need to join the Forward Small Business Membership Program. This is a low-cost, high-visibility opportunity designed to connect our community with your business. Your Forward Small Business Membership includes radio ads, listing in our online business directory, special promotion as Business Member of the Week, digital outreach, on-air mentions, member swag, and more. So don't delay. For more information, call 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
What does the sound of a school bell bring to mind? Homeroom? Lunchtime? The day's end? Or the end of school entirely, as in kids dropping out? At Communities in Schools, we work directly inside schools to help those students whose ability to come to school is often jeopardized by hardships, the loss of a loved one, poverty, lack of housing, or bullying. Hear from a few students whose lives we have touched.
They've always had my back. They've always done anything to help me.
At Communities in Schools, we empower students to succeed in and out of the classroom.
They've been there for when I've had any questions, any problems personally. Anytime I needed support, they were there.
Our mission is to ensure that at-risk kids have someone by their side.
It means a lot to me to graduate. It's just a big accomplishment.
Communities in Schools never gave up on me. They told me I can do it, and I did it.
Communities in Schools. We're in schools to help kids stay in school. See how we help all students succeed at communitiesinschools.org.
You were listening to The Mojo on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Embrace and explore your black magic.
You see, what I do is I try to make you dance, you know. When you hear this, I try to make you go to the dance floor. And you know, this is my girl Missy. Say something like, come on.
Closer to your side in a beeper. You don't have to worry about me, and you won't miss me like Monique. P-U-F-F-D-A-double-D. Why? You be making hits like the old factory. And I hit you with the heat. Hit you with the heat. This is how I get down. I with Ronnie, Bobby, Johnny, Vicky, and my
thinking about round.
I know I've been acting strange. It seems to me you try to play it games. I've been around, had girls here and there. I did you wrong, but I'll give my life to make it right. Seems like all we do is fight. It's been on my mind. You don't have to worry. No, no more lonely nights.
This is the remix.
What must I do to make it up to you? What can I say to make you see things my way? I know it's hard for you to understand. I did you wrong, but I'll give my life to make it right.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the remix of New Edition's You Don't Have to Worry, also featuring Missy Elliott and Sean Combs. Yeah, I was going to say, whether, depending on where you became familiar with him, he's been Puffy, he's been P. Diddy, and
I'm going to call him Diddy.
and he's been Diddy.
Diddy.
Exactly.
Puff Daddy.
But Sean Combs, one of the multimillionaires from the hip-hop era and music industry.
I need a nickname. Maybe that's why I ain't got no money. I need like a cool nickname. Can at least Diddy? That's been taken. I need something that just call me by one name and then know who I'm talking about.
Those people who are looking at my eyes as I look into the screen for Facebook Live, you all understand why I say Mike needs to let it go.
I need money.
Dude, you had to have a humongous personality to carry off such a ridiculous nickname as Diddy.
Can I?
And he changed over the years, so the fact that he continues to do it, you are not going to the Met fashion ball and laying down on the stairs.
All right, well that segues into the audacity of just believing in your dreams.
Yes.
Believe in your dreams.
Yes.
If you want to, whatever you want to do within limits. But anyway, whatever you want to do, just go for it because you only live once. And stay in school. Don't do drugs, and cause fire. Smoking prevents.
Stop.
Forest fire.
Stop.
So, but the Defiant Ones on HBO. I stopped watching TV, and then the Defiant Ones. Alan Hughes' documentary about Dr. Dre.
I haven't seen any of it yet.
And Jimmy, it's binge worthy for me because it's a doc. For those who don't know, it's a documentary about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, two of the top producers who in the mid '90s joined forces when Jimmy Iovine brought Dr. Dre over to Interscope for Death Row Records and later Aftermath, and they continued the relationships where they both became heads of Beats by Dre and sold it to Apple for $300 million.
A whole lot of money.
Made them both billionaires overnight, and it's about their friendship and their work ethic and lots of jewels being dropped. But the thing I liked most was the editing and the archival. Like there's footage in the way it's put together is brilliant. But there's like literally like rare footage of like outtakes from music videos that they use, home movies of them recording straight out of Compton in the studio and all kinds of stuff. Like Tupac, like one episode is just Tupac because Tupac was signed to stuff. And one of the things I didn't, makes perfect sense now, but they said that basically Jimmy Iovine, they Warner Brothers didn't want Interscope to bail Tupac out of jail. So he fronted Suge Knight the money.
Oh, okay.
Suge Knight made it appear that he was fronting it.
Right.
But it was really Jimmy Iovine, and then that's a whole destructive thing in what we have. So
yeah, I mean, there is so much of this story. There's so much of that period in history that now that we are 25 years or plus removed from the crux of it, so much that people take for granted about hip hop's role in society, its influence, and it being a given. Where at that time in history, as we're arguing over parental advisory stickers and all kinds of other things, hip hop was still being considered disposable in the music industry, and people thought it wouldn't last. And so there was so much conversation around the big personalities and artists of the time, and how it was indicative of how disposable this music was ultimately going to be. And here we are 25 years later still talking about it and really looking at that era in particular as being seminal.
I know there are a lot of conspiracy people watching this too. You could also watch the same documentary with certain filters and be like, okay, this is where it all went down. Because I mean, you could say on one level maybe Jimmy Iovine is the kind of person that just believes in artistic freedom and let these people do what they want to say. And then he didn't necessarily know that these folks were just going to use the microphone to say all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But he defended their right to be artists, and it created what it was. Or you could look at this and say, because a lot of, at least 3 times in the movie, people were like, his main motivation was to make money.
Of course.
His look, we're going to make this. He produced Stevie Nicks. One of his tricks was he produced one artist, and then he'd go to the next artist, and they needed a hit, so he would take an outtake from Bruce Springsteen and hand it to Stevie Nicks, or Tom Petty handed Stevie Nicks, so on and so forth. So he was always looking for ways to make 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you could say, this is where the money and the greed kind of took over hip hop, and we lost our consciousness as well. You can see it just in the life of Tupac. You can see that.
I was going to say, I understand that context. I will also layer onto it, though, that as the music industry shifted from A&R departments, finding talent that was in process, they knew folks were raw, and they molded them into what would sell.
Right.
The advancement of technology made them want to sell immediately. So the idea that he would take an outtake from another big artist and give it to another one and go make this into something also makes perfect sense. But it devolved to the point where we were cannibalizing the same beats in hip hop in the same year. There used to be at least a waiting period. It was either an outtake that got developed into a new hit song, or that song was a hit, and then 5 years later you might hear a little piece of it in the next person's song. We got to the point where it was just a couple months separation from one hit to the next, and they all used the same sample.
They didn't bother to rewind the tape before they started the sampling.
Exactly.
It's we got to rewind this first, and then all right, now start sampling.
Right, and so that's when it becomes a caricature of itself.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, these guys have incredible work ethic, and they drop a lot of jewels. Anybody who wants to be creatively inspired definitely should investigate this Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine documentary,
the Defiant Ones, 4 parts on HBO.
On HBO, yeah, it's definitely one of the best music documentaries I've ever seen, hands down.
I want us to pause for just a second because Frida's been waiting patiently, calling in from Oak Lane. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. I just had a couple comments really quick.
Okay.
I was multitasking, listening to you and Mike, and I looked up, and there were the 3 young ladies you were talking about from the movie on Channel 10.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I thought that was interesting. Of course, they did a little demonstration of the steps. So I was wondering, might you know, or maybe I need to start to do some investigation myself, because this is my granddaughter up, down, over, around, and through.
I hear you.
If there are actually any stepping groups, in Philadelphia. So that's one. And then my second thing is, I reviewed the Emmy nomination. Unless I missed something, I didn't see a whisper of Queen Sugar, and I couldn't understand it.
Interesting. Well, I haven't looked at the list yet.
I was digging those up. We're going to do that in the next segment. I mean, I know Ava's nominated for 13th, and 8 nominations for 13th, and I do believe there's some Queen Sugar stuff, but I'll get the full list.
We'll look that up for you, though, Frida. Thank you for that question. And I will say, here in Philadelphia, I don't know of pure step teams, and Philly is drill team central. So there are a lot of drill teams, but having access for high school girls in particular to be a part of a step team, I'm not as familiar. And I will say that for those people who would immediately jump up and go, sororities, why aren't you? It's because legally there's a lot involved with that. We, as a sorority member and as a graduate member, I can tell you that legally, because of so many things that have happened over the years, we even have to jump through hoops for grad chapters or grad members to get permission from nationals to do performances for our own national conferences and regional conferences. So there's a reason why there isn't a bigger movement for sororities and fraternities to have our high school affiliates or our mentoring programs teach step in the way that we might like to, just, from the heart. But legally, because you're dealing with minors and you're, in facilities that generally your organizations don't own, so there are permissions and insurance issues about how all of this works. It's complicated for fraternity and sorority members to do it. However, stepping is very African. It is not limited to the fraternity and sorority environment. So if there are people in the listening audience that have a lot of rhythm and have an interest in this, it would be great to get a movement going here in Philadelphia that teaches our young people how to step and uses that as a way to keep them off the street and give them an opportunity to bond with one another and compete, friendly competition with one another as well. But for anybody who would critique the Black Greek letter organizations, I'm just letting you know it's a little more complicated for us because of legal reasons.
Right. Yeah. So it does not appear, according to IMDb, that Queen Sugar has any nominations,
which is awful.
But
shame on them.
But I'll research it more. But 13th does have 8. Nominations. So.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and take another commercial break while Mike pulls up more of this information, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. There's a lot going on, a lot of buzz on Black social media about some images and trailers and things that have been released over the last several days, and so we'll fold that into our conversation on today's edition of Real Black Radio when we continue after this.
Calvin Quallis, Scotch Porter, familiar with these names? If not, you soon will be. This week on There's Money Out There, our guest is Calvin Quallis, founder and CEO of Scotch Porter, one of the fastest growing men's grooming and lifestyle brands in the industry. From beard balms to facial care to grooming accessories, Calvin's Scotch Porter brand is setting the pace for men's styling. During the show, you'll learn how Calvin transitioned from a successful owner of a barbershop to building the hottest lifestyle brand on the market. You'll hear Calvin talk about how he overcame obstacles, how he raised capital, his lessons learned, and about his ongoing journey to success. If you are a business owner, have an idea for a startup, or are a barber or beauty salon owner, this show is for you. Your hosts Kim, Jim, and Calvin Tucker will conduct a lively interview with Calvin Quallis that you do not want to miss. So tune in Saturday, 1 p.m. for There's Money Out There, and hear Calvin Quallis, CEO of Scotch Porter.
I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school.
Summer isn't fun when you're hungry.
If only I had a big test today. Or a book report to give. Give me a math quiz. Give me some homework.
If your child relies on free school lunches, we can help provide them with free meals this summer.
I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll keep my desk rail clean.
So they can stop worrying about food and start focusing on fun.
I'll do extra homework. I'll clean the class pet's cage. I'll skip recess.
School might end, but free lunches don't have to.
I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school.
If your child relies on free school lunches, we can help provide them with free meals this summer. Visit feedingamerica.org/summer meals to find your local food bank for help. Once again, that's feedingamerica.org/summer meals. Together, we're feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The African American Museum in Philadelphia invites you to check out an unprecedented collaboration that celebrates the innovative artistic energy and uncompromising social values of Philadelphia's Black arts movement. Anchored by Philaesthetic, 40 years of collecting African American art. A groundbreaking 2-gallery exhibition at AMP. This celebration brings the undeniable energy of the Black arts movement to the fore once again. Highlights include historical exhibits at Philaesthetic partner institutions, family-friendly workshops, and a series of public performances by a stellar lineup of artists and partners, including Sonia Sanchez, Ursula Rucker, Jamaluddin Takuma, Lady Alma, New Freedom Theater, The Clef Club, Philadanko, Philly Youth Poetry Movement, and more. It all happens from June 15th through September 17th at the African American Museum in Philadelphia, 701 Arch Street. Plan your visit today. Visit aampmuseum.org.
For millions of kids, when school lunches end, hunger begins. Summer isn't fun when you're hungry. Hungry to help? Go to feedingamerica.org/hungry to help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What's up, y'all? This your man's Dwelle representing Detroit City, but I'm right here in Philly. When I'm in Philly, I'm checking out WURD.
From the album Return of the Space Cowboy, that is Jamiroquai, the band Jamiroquai. The lead singer's name is Jason K. So, you know, a lot of times we do that. We assume
if I saw a dude in the 7-Eleven, I'd be like, hey, Jamiroquai.
Of course, like most people do. I'm trying to make y'all better than that.
And you walk up Jason K. Hey, Jason K.
But the name of the song is Morning Glory. So shout out to the people who were totally into the second British invasion in the 90s, where we got so much other music that was heavily influenced by the R&B and hip hop scenes that were, growing here in the United States. And, clearly the band Jamiroquai heavily influenced by Marvin Gaye. A lot of the songs that they put out were influenced by Marvin Gaye's 70s catalog.
Good stuff. Trying to segue here. So no Marvin Gaye biopic yet, but they just announced that Chris Columbus, the famous director, he's in development with a Fannie Lou Hamer documentary. Yeah,
I missed that news.
Civil rights icon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm open to see how people will approach it if they don't have folks in blackface and they aren't looking to take, people that have a specific set of skills and try and turn them into people that have a different specific set of skills that they are not able to imitate.
Right off the bat, it's like, Shoo-In would be like Oprah or Octavia Spencer for Fannie Lou. It's a great role. And and then also, maybe not Oprah because, part of her Fannie Lou's story is that she was sterilized,
Yeah.
So by the government.
Yeah.
But then she went on to become this huge civil rights icon, helped get the voting laws changed.
And so much of that history comes right here to our area because it was the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City where Fannie Lou Hamer gave one of her most famous speeches and talked about empowerment and, how she became a real national icon after that. I think a lot of people had looked at the civil rights struggle in the Deep South and, us Northeasterners, we're kind of beyond that. And it brought it home for a lot of people.
Put a face on it.
Absolutely.
Well, for those who think about going to the movies tonight, well, first off, we have a show tonight at the United Bank Building,
Mm-hmm.
38th and Lancaster. We are showing Black Ballerina.
Yes.
And Joan Myers Brown and the
Great
director
film.
Fran McElroy, who sat in the same seat I'm sitting in. She'll be there tonight, 7:15.
Yes.
So 7 o'clock CP time.
I was going to say Negro Standard Time, 15 minutes late. Y'all know how we do.
We say 7 o'clock, and we just start at 7:15.
Yes.
But we're gonna show that, and she'll have DVDs for sale. Half the proceeds will go to Philadelphia.
Awesome.
So that's come out if you can. And then also Tuesday, I'm introducing Sam Pollard, who's like an award-winning documentarian. He's got a new movie about Acorn, which Scribe Producer Series is showing at Lightbox Film Center, formerly International House.
Mm-hmm.
30.
There's a lot of stuff
There's
going
a lot going on Tuesday
night.
Yeah, Tuesday.
I was going to say Tuesday night, just so y'all know, that's going to be one of my decompression nights. I'm going to see Girls Trip.
Oh, okay. All right. There's other stuff I didn't know if you knew. We'll talk off the air. But yeah, Girls Trip screening.
Yes.
And we'll have some Girls Trip passes tonight to give away.
Excellent.
But yeah, Tuesday night, Sam Pollard, and then the following day he's doing a master class at Scribe. So
nice.
Want to make sure I got that in.
Yes.
Planet of the Apes comes out, the 3rd episode, and the Planet of the Apes trilogy opens today. It's already made $5 million.
Okay.
Not bad for an ape.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't know if it's going to Spider-Man
I've
money.
seen them. I thought the first one, you know, was kind of nice in terms of the development of the story.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see. Wait, I saw this. Did I see the Uprising one? I don't think I did.
I don't know.
So yeah, I haven't been following closely with the series.
I'm behind on. I know the technology's good. I love my favorite the first Planet of the Apes movie is a classic back in '69.
Mm-hmm.
But the best one, for those who agree or disagree with me, Conquest of Planet of the Apes. It's the blaxploitation version of Planet of the Apes. It was like the 4th or 5th movie they made, and it was in the middle of the '70s. And they just said, "All right, we're just gonna make this straight."
I've never
code.
even heard of it. That sounds very interesting.
Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. It's the oppressors get their revenge, and they force a rebellion and they take over the streets.
Oh Lord!
Oh,
yeah,
it's amazing.
I was gonna say this. I'm getting shades of Shaft in Africa. Just say it sounds along those same lines.
They tried. Look, I mean, you know, it's all code for something. Speaking of code, Tyler Perry. He just made a big deal with Viacom. He's moving over from Lionsgate. He's still gonna do stuff with OWN network.
Sure.
But he's made a deal with Viacom, all encompassing, to bring 90 episodes of original TV programming to places like BET, and also has a first look deal for all of his motion pictures. So moving on up,
folks on the come up for sure. That's got to be worth. That's got to be worth a whole lot of money.
Look,
at the end of the day, 90 episodes. That's at least. So right now, pilots are doing 13 to 16 episodes. So that's 5 shows.
They shoot 2 a day.
But I'm just saying. But that's 5 separate shows.
Oh yeah. Well,
for 90 episodes.
No. The way he does it, he does a whole 100 shows of one title.
Oh, okay.
At one time, and then they just stay in circulation. Yeah, he contracts, so he'll come up with a concept, and then they'll just knock out 90 of them, and
wow,
and that's 5 seasons worth of shows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but as much as we want to say about Tyler Perry, like his name is. When you walk into the National Museum of the Smithsonian, he's one of the original benefactors.
Again, I say I have no issue with the man's hustle. He is working his plan and planning his work, and I don't have any problem with that. Content-wise, I could go on for hours, and I won't.
Okay. Well, one name we won't see in the Emmy nominations this year is Tyler Perry's, unfortunately. However... Unfortunately, yeah, not okay. Yeah, no cinematography.
I'm just going to take that out and sit that right there.
But now he's got the money. Maybe he'll, that's his goal. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
One thing we don't hear anything about his kid.
Oh yeah. He's not on Instagram this morning with his.
Yes, kid. with his brand new. I mean, his kid is at least 2 years old now, right? 2 or 3.
I suppose so. Yeah.
I'm just saying that in this world of 24-hour news cycle and people who are using their babies as accessories, he absolutely does not.
I respect Tyler. I mean, he maintains his privacy very well. Very well. He maintains his privacy. So, I mean, and the only time he'll share something is if he's selling something.
Yeah.
Right. You know, whereas I was a little annoyed. I woke up this morning. I was up early.
Uh-huh.
Even though I was late, I was up early. And I was like looking.
He's taking accountability.
No, no. This morning was gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Blah, blah, blah. I felt like Rocky this morning, so I'm looking Instagram. They got Beyonce, beautiful photo of her and her twins.
I want to know what this theme is of the flower background. I mean, this has been ongoing throughout the pregnancy, and now that the twins are here, it's continuing.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, they got Blue Ivy rapping already. There's just like a lot of pressure to be a Carter kid.
Being a Carter kid is a serious thing
it's
right
like
about now.
A little extra. So you gotta walk around with the flowers for the rest of your life, kids. It is what it is.
I gotta say, I do love the names though.
Which are?
Sir and Rumi.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Sir, I get. Because they will always have to call him Sir. It's a show of respect. You know, we have a person locally named the same way. You will always have to call him Mr.
Yeah, it's sort of like King Britt.
Yeah, exactly. There's some logic behind all this.
Put some respect on my name.
But Rumi,
I'm a Carter.
But Rumi is a great. I mean, a lot of people, if you're not familiar with Rumi's poetry from centuries ago, then you might not get it. I love Rumi's poetry. And the idea that this little girl is bringing that history into a name and building on it, I think it's a neat thing.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean,
you know,
so I'm looking at this beautiful
my thought.
photo, and then I flip over, and it's like title pre-sale, Jay-Z tour, and I was like, oh God, okay, can we get a day off?
But please let people know about the video.
Can we get a day off? You know, so it's like, yeah, Jay-Z's got mouths to feed, so go pay minimum price $99 to see Jay-Z. He'll be like that big.
Yeah.
And then if you have $200, he'll be maybe that big.
And if you have $400, then you're close.
Oh, they're not pre-selling any of the big seats.
Oh, really?
The best available. Well, there's no Philly show announced yet, from what I can tell.
No, but I thought that there were I thought there were 444 seats.
Oh, they may have sold out. They may be gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought
or maybe
that
if you're
literally
Barclays,
the gimmick was that they had $444 seats.
$444.
Yeah, well,
that's a lot of money.
It is, but people will pay it. Look, Beyonce's VIP package was more than that.
Look, I'm canceling that title as soon as that promo goes off. Jay-Z, I'm just give you fair warning that's I'm cutting that bill quick. But yeah, but shout out. You know, we were complaining last week about who gets to direct Jay-Z videos.
Yeah. Mike Dennis's nostrils were officially flared. I just want you to know I'm sad I do not have documentation of this, but it tickled me that I was able to get him that mad in the library.
I jumped the gun. So one of the directors of the new Jay-Z video 444 is Arthur Jafa,
who is amazing.
Amazing cinematographer, shot Crooklyn, shot Daughters of Dust.
Yes, and shout out to both Arthur and Elisa Blunt Moorhead, who kind of manages his. Yes.
Yeah, and you know they have a thing T-Neg. So what he does, I wouldn't even call it a video. I call it a short film. But he takes Jay-Z's music and he melds it with amazing cinematography of these dancers, and then viral videos of black folks from all over the internet to weave into this thing. And then I won't give away anything, but the most powerful image, the way it conspires to hit you when he juxtaposes Al Green with Beyonce and Jay-Z, you know, it really brought like true emotion to me.
I cannot wait to see that.
It's available on YouTube now and Vivo and all that stuff. So.
But I got Tidal because I got Sprint, so I can watch it wherever.
Oh, okay, all right, braggadocious. So those who don't have it, now it was available last week. You missed your shot.
Yeah.
To be on the exclusive club list. Now everybody got it, but you know, so big ups to that. And then again, Ava. Premiering, I think the Wrinkle in Time trailer is going to drop this weekend.
So beautiful photos are available all over the internet now, showing Oprah, Mindy Kaling, and white woman.
Oh, I don't know. Storm is a kid, but
no. There's a picture of Ava with the little girl that plays the lead character, but you're not helping me.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I'm not
all over the internet. Promo pictures for A Wrinkle in Time. Definitely check those out. And
it's getting big. I mean, the Twitter retweets and everything. This is
huge.
It's get some Disney stock now, because you got March. Disney's putting out through Marvel Black Panther.
Wait, stop. promo photo
Oh, February,
of
I'm
Black
sorry.
Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler, of all the people. So we had seen just about everybody in the film but Angela Bassett. But Angela Bassett is in the promo photo that they released this week with Forrest Whitaker in his royal purple, like me today. But Angela Bassett in all black, standing next to Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Oh my God, it is beautiful. If you have not seen it, I have it posted to my Soul Sanctuary Radio congregation page on Facebook, but look it up. It was the center photo for Entertainment Weekly. I believe, and so you just have to.
Yeah, so mark your calendars, get ready. So February you got Black Panther, and then March you got Wrinkle in Time. So it's gonna be more fun than when you first got cable. It's gonna be like when OJ got off. You're gonna feel that good next year.
Well, like
people
I
gonna
said,
get tired
there are
of you.
people who are planning to be in their full blackitude and go out and see these films.
Well, the day after
especially
Black Panther, just take the day off. Just take the day off
Seriously?
after you see Black Panther. Don't. Because they'll be looking at you like, why are you so happy? Why are you so happy?
People are gonna go see the film
What?
and then go have a soul food dinner. It's gonna be an event. It's gonna be coming to America in real life.
Well, you know how people. I'm not even gonna code this. Like when people see people happy and they don't know why, and they think there's something that they don't know.
No,
it's just because you feel good. You just spent 2 hours seeing yourself. You spent 2 hours at Step.
That's right.
You spent. And then February, March next year, forget about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal.
You're gonna forget that Bush done close. I mean, sorry, you're gonna forget that Trump done close your school. Well, it's same difference. What? Same color, same different day. You're gonna forget that Trump done closed your schools and took you. You'd be eating cardboard for lunch.
Shush.
But you'll have Black Panther and you'll have Wrinkle in Time, so life will be good.
And with that, we must conclude today's segment. Any other final words that you want to leave with the people before we take our next commercial
Just
break?
come out tonight. Black Ballerinas. That's a story that most people
More
don't know.
celebration. And Black Ballerina is a wonderful, wonderful film. If you are not at all familiar with the struggles that women of color have had just to be present in spaces, to show the talent they have. We're not talking about they're trying to get over. They're just trying to be present in spaces, in these companies, and be acknowledged for the skills that they possess. We see it generationally, the way that they have shined, what they have had to do in order to be primas or to be the featured soloists in these dance companies. And they talk about their connectedness to that history and the rise of Misty Copeland, how much it has elevated some of these elders that preceded her.
And then Lancaster Jazz Fest this weekend. But yeah, that's it. That's all. I'm done.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we say so long to those of you who are checking us out on Facebook Live. For those of you who are listening over our airwaves, quick break, and we come back with hour 3 of today's TGIF edition of The Mojo. Take care.
A place like home 2 located